Hey everybody, it's Professor Brown with a quick note on formatting. Now, your content that you write is the words that you write, the paragraphs, the sentences, whatever you put into your assignment, that's called the content. The format is how you put your words into the assignment. And from here on out, we're going to be looking at creating what's called a standard format, or arranging your information in a special and certain way that meets the standards for high school, college, and beyond. So the first thing that we think about in formatting is the name of your file, the file name itself, how you save your document. Now, most of the assignments here, it tells you exactly how to save your document. Save your document as, and it'll give you a name, and it'll say in brackets, your last name goes here, right? So that you have your last name and the assignment name and so on. Be sure to make sure that you're using the name of the content, your file name that's asked of you. Now, if it doesn't ask for a special name, just put your last name in and some identifying information like class 5 assignment 1. Okay, but most of the assignments here for the writing program are going to say exactly how to label your file. Okay, so the format of your file name should be given to you, and you just follow that. Also, on the inside of your document, we have a format that we'd like you to follow, because it's going to make sure that everything is easily seen, easily understood, everything can be read nicely. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share with you a page that shows the format that we want to use here. Okay, and this page, as you can see, has in the top left corner where it says your name, the class /week, and the assignment name. This is the information that you will add in the top left corner. Notice this is single space, so I've changed the spacing just for this part. Now, once we get past the labeling, we now have a paragraph or two that's below, and we talked about double spacing in class today. This is called double spacing. This is called single spacing, okay? Your paragraphs most of the time will be double spaced. It helps us to see the content really well, helps us to make comments on the sides, and so on. Notice I've put a title here, centered, okay? So centered, and notice that it's bold. So whatever the title is, I can put that centered and bold. So assignment 3, or if I'm writing about restaurant hooks or hooks assignment or whatever it is, I can put the title there as well. Notice then I've double spaced, and this is incorrect. I wanted to show you on purpose what it looks like when it's not indented. This is called flush left. Flush left means that everything lines up on the left-hand side at the margin. But if I put my cursor there and hit the tab key, boop, it's going to pop right over, and it creates this space here with the tab key that's called the indent. Every single paragraph that you write should be indented. Okay, notice how this is indented down here, the second paragraph as well. Now, the way that Word is set up, if you set up your document to have double spacing, you just start typing at the top, and you type, and you get to the end and you keep typing, and it's going to automatically, what they call, wrap around the text and put it into a double spaced format for you. You keep typing, you get to the end here, and you just keep typing, because it's going to, again, give you the next line in the right space. There is never a time where you have to actually hit the return key or do anything at the end of a line when you set up your document to have double spacing. Okay, so if you're using the tab key, or if you're using the return key or other key at the end, that's not correct. You might want to check out the Word document class, the Microsoft Word class that's here on recording, and that'll help you understand. Or you could just get some help from an older sibling or a parent, okay? So you have now the format. This is going to be up on the website for you, and it shows how we've got double spacing. And then the double spacing continues between paragraphs too. So it's within paragraphs, and it's also between paragraphs. Notice if I click on the left side here, it highlights the entire line. And I can see by looking at the amount of orangish, yellowish orange color here, that this is the exact same distance, and it's double spaced in between. All right, so this will be up for you so that you can use this as a template and use your assignments, write your assignments and things like this. That's the spacing, that's the format that you will use for paragraphs or longer assignments. I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to bring up another document. And this document shows some writing that was created by a student. And first of all, I want you to see that there is a title here, which is very cool. It's not bolded, so I'm going to go ahead and bold that title. And notice that the space between is more than the double spacing. Sometimes Word will create automatically more space between a title and the paragraph. No, and we're not too worried about titling spacing, but what happens then is when we get down here, let me open this up wide so you can see where we get to the next paragraph. Can you see the space here is double and the space here is much bigger? That's because oftentimes Microsoft Word is set up to create 2.5 spaces between paragraphs, and that's not correct. So we're going to show you how to fix that right now. I'm going to put my cursor, if this is what your computer does, put your cursor, your little clicker right here at the beginning of the second paragraph. I'm going to backspace so that, or delete, hit my delete key on a Mac. I'm going to backspace it so that it goes up to here. Notice it's right at the end of the last paragraph. I'm going to put my cursor again right before the T, but I'm going to hold down the Shift key and then hit return. So while I hit return, the Shift key is pressed down. What that Shift key pressed down is doing is it's taking out the format. So again, pressing down the Shift key, hit the return. Oh, look what happened. Do you see? Now the spacing is the same. Now I still have to indent. So let's put that indent back in that tab like that. Now we have the correct spacing. Do you see? If I were to highlight by clicking on the left side here, all of the orange space here is the same and even between paragraphs. So that's how you fix the internal settings for Word if it's created to have 2.5 spaces. Again, I'm going to show you how to do it one more time. I'm going to get the end of this line. I'm going to hit return and then tab and start writing. Right, and look what happened. It did it again. We've got too much space here because that's the way that this paper is set up on the inside, and they call it the back end. The way that it's set up is to create more space. So I've got to work around it. I've got to fix it, and then you'll do the same thing if your Word documents are set up this way too. Put your cursor at the beginning, backspace or delete if you're on a Mac. And I brought it right up to the top here. Now I'm going to hold down my Shift key. Remember the Shift key, holding that down takes away formatting. And now I hit return with my Shift key pressed down. I'm holding the Shift key. Here we go, is the return. There we go. Notice what it did. It changed the spacing and I can hit tab to indent. Now I have double spacing through all of this. Okay, again, if I were to come back here and just hit the regular indent for a new paragraph, it created too much. I fix it by putting my cursor there. I'm going to backspace or delete. If you're on a Mac, hold the Shift key down and hit return while the Shift key is held down. There it is. See how it fixed it? Now I hit my tab. That's how we fix the spacing between paragraphs if it's 2.5. If it's set up incorrectly. I'm going to go ahead and hit the tab key here. Right, see what happened? Now I have an indent here. I have an indent here, and this isn't correct. Of course, I would need more sentences in this paragraph to be correct, but I just wanted to show you how that indent and the tab and all that good stuff worked. Now, the last thing is this piece is not in Times New Roman 12-point font. This is in 11 font size, and it's Calibri. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight, click and drag this whole thing so that it's all highlighted. I'm going to click 12 point, not 11. I'm going to move it to 12, which is the standard 12-point font. See, it got bigger. See that? Now, still while it's highlighted, I'm going to change it to Times New Roman. Times New Roman. And there we go. Now it is in the correct font, and it's in the correct spacing, and it's in the correct indents. It has the correct indents, and it has the correct size, 12 point. This is the correct format. If I were to turn this in, I would go back up to the top here. On the left, I would make sure it's single spacing. I put my name here. I wouldn't do it bold. Let's take that bold off. I would put the class name. I would put the class number, class 5, class 6, and then I would put the actual name of the assignment. And so instead of writing class name, I would just write it in. Instead of writing class number, I just write the class number in class 5. Name of the assignment, I'd say assignment 3, assignment 2, assignment 1, whatever it is. Okay, then this is all set to turn in. It's all formatted like that. All right. So that's what we want to do for format. Remember, format is the way that we put the words on the page. The content is the actual words you write. We want the format to be standard and correct in the file name, in having your name on the paper, in having the spacing correct, the tabs correct, the Times New Roman 12-point font size and type correct. And then from here on out, that is the exact kind of format that you will use for all of your assignments here at Aquinas Writing Advantage and also in college. So now you know.